Hello artists, let's experiment with painting some Chinese characters. We're going to be Chinese calligraphers. So start out by writing your name and your class code on the back. You're going to use pencil. I'm going to use pen so that you can see. I'm writing CC it to stand for class code. Then take your paper and you're going to fold it this way, the horizontal way. So I'm just matching up the corners and creasing it. Some kids call it like the hot dog bun way. Then you open it up. Turn it over so your name's on the back. And this will show you where the middle of your paper is. You're going to draw 4 lines as evenly as you can across the top. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then 4 lines on the bottom. That's where you're going to write the English word for the Chinese character you're about to create. So start with one of these drawing help guides first. So this one shows you step by step what to add. So this is going to be river. So I'm going to write the word river right here. I'm not painting this or this side. I'm just doing the Chinese character. Okay? And then some kids like to draw a guide to follow instead of just painting on their paper, which you can do if you want to. So that would mean you'd look at number 1 and you would draw it on your paper. You want to draw big because this paintbrush is large and it's going to be hard to stay on the lines if you draw it really teeny tiny. So draw it huge. Now I look at step number 2. Looks like they added a straight line. Okay. Step number 3. Another straight line, longer than the one in the middle. Got it. Okay. Now I'll put that back and get a more challenging guide and choose which ones I like here. You can choose some challenging ones, but also take a look at these ones that will be good practice. So I think I want to do father. And I want to draw myself a guide. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I want to do strength. Don't forget the word. You can double check for spelling. And then I'm going to do a really challenging one. How about home? That looks tough. Home. So look how big I'm drawing these characters. That's going to help me when I'm painting. And you'll use pencil, so if you make an oops, you can erase it. I'm paying attention to the length of the lines. This one I notice is longer. This is connected here. Okay. So you would go on and do the words down here, but to save time, I'm just going to get to it so you can see it. So we're using our bamboo brush, dip, dip, wipe, wipe, and we want to swirl it at least 10 times. We want the black to be really bold to look like ink. This is tempered cake paint, but we're pretending that we're Chinese calligraphers using an ink stone. So I've swirled it so many times, and now I'm going to begin. So, oops, I just had a beautiful oops. That's okay. I'm going to trace over those lines that I drew for myself. If I just barely touch it and drag it, I find that I can make the line pretty thin. If I press down hard like this, I find that the line is very thick. So I need to try to match what it looks like on the guide. So if the line's super thick on the guide, then I want to make it thick. But if it's not, then I want to simulate what I see. So I'm looking at the father one, and I see it's not connected, so I don't want to do that. Okay. So you just have to experiment. And if it gets dry, you can get your brush wet again and then really get a whole bunch of paint on there again. Now I look at strength. Like I said, if you just barely touch it, it's going to be a lot thinner than if you press down. That's going to be thick. You just have to play around with it. Get the hang of it. Is this going to be perfect? No. That's why we're practicing on this newsprint before we do our next banner. So keep going until you've filled up all 8 spaces with your English words and matching Chinese characters, and then walk it carefully over to the drying rack. Have fun!